Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. I want to really thank you for your continued support. I was taken ill about a fortnight ago. That is why I have not released any videos. I've been in very excruciating pain, grounded, very weak. But I want to thank God that He has healed me and I'm now back. And I want to pick it up from where I left it. I must say that God has been very faithful to those who just caught up, making calls, trying to do some follow-ups. There are those even who came to the hospital to see me. I want to thank you very much. May God really, really bless you. And ladies and gentlemen, I've been trying to catch up with the Ruto's tour in Nyanza. Of course, a lot have really happened. A lot have really happened ever since I did my last video, politically speaking. But I came back and caught up with the Ruto's tour in Nyanza. And there is this particular reception that Ruto received, that Ruto got in Kisumu. And it really caught my attention because this visit is the first after William Ruto formed that broad-based government, where 4 of the ODM members were incorporated into the government. They were given ministerial positions. And of course, 2 of them coming from the Nyanza. Of course, I could talk of 3 if I include the Attorney General. And it also marked a very significant, historical event for the Luos, because they're saying they've never held the position of the office of the finance minister or the CS or for finance. And they've also never tasted, since independence, the position of Attorney General. So this visit was coming after William Ruto actually gave them the very, very slots. And you all know that ever since William Ruto formed this so-called broad-based government, he's been on top of vehicles. He started in the coast, he was in Central, then he was in Nyamira and Kisii. And of course, so he decided to visit the 4 Luo Nyanza counties. That is Homa Bay, Kisumu, Migori, I think, and say he will be there. But as William Ruto was receiving, he was really received well. And I want you to see what was happening in Kisumu. Now, we must agree that that was a very cordial reception that any leader would be very proud of. And that is the nature of the support base of Raila Amolo Odinga, especially in Nyanza. We've seen it before. We saw it when Kibaki went to Nyanza after that handshake and was given the same reception. We saw it with Uhuru Kenyatta and now William Samoei Ruto. Now, this kind of reception has really attracted several questions. And the experts are looking at the Luo Nyanza and what has happened before, because prior to this reception, just about 2 years ago, after the 2022 elections, Raila Amolo Odinga had rejected the presidency of William Samoei Ruto, and he had said that his votes were rigged. And with that, together with the entire Azimio fraternity, they had said that they were not going to recognize Ruto's presidency. And the people went to the streets. To date, one of the Azimio co-principals, Martha Karua, of course, she's bolted out, has maintained that she does not recognize William Ruto as a president because they simply believe their votes were rigged. And so experts are saying, what has changed all of a sudden, and just how politics is dynamic. Now, one of the reasons or one of the questions that are being asked in Luo Nyanza is this. The penultimate visit that William Ruto made to Nyanza, he really gave a lot of promises. And as he goes back to Luo Nyanza, the question is, has he implemented the promises that he gave to the Nyanza community? And I want us to listen to one person who has now decided to become a thorn in the flesh to Ruto's administration. He's trying to follow up all the promises that William Ruto gave, and is going there in person and looking at what William Ruto had launched. And that is as Morara Kebaso is now a man who needs no introduction. One of the promises and the launching that William Ruto did was in Kisumu, where he was launching some fisheries, something in Kabonyo. And William Ruto launched a very special project there. It was in conjunction with the government of Hungary. It was supposed to be some loan, and people were very happy as William Ruto was launching that project. It was going to be a very viable project that was going to help the entire community. And we want us to look, because Kebaso is looking at that promise and that launching. Has William Ruto implemented what he gave to the Luo Nyanza? Because this was just one of them. Kindly listen to Morara Kebaso.
Welcome again to another episode of the Vampire Diaries. I'm here in Kisumu County. This is Nyando constituency, and this is Kabonyo Kanyagwal ward. And we just want to check on the project that the President William Ruto launched here for Kabonyo Kanyagwal Fisheries and Aquaculture Project. So come with me, let's check it out. So as you can see here, this is our main gate. This is the main gate. We have our contractors here. The contractors are building. Those are our aquaculture researchers over there preparing to do some research on fingerlings from Lake Victoria. That is our Nile Perch. That's our Nile Perch lab. That's where we do research on Nile Perch and tilapia. So here we have the administration block, and here we have the finance office. This project was costing 2.5 billion Kenya shillings. Kazi safi hii sana. Asante sana mtukufu rais. So this looks like a graveside. Inakaa kaburi.
Now with evidence, Morara is exposing William Ruto. So as William Ruto, goes to Nyanza and is receiving that very cordial reception, what are the fates of the other projects that he gave? Because we cannot be a people who get hoodwinked by a second. Because William Ruto is very happy going to Nyanza simply because he gave them the finance docket, the energy docket, and the attorney general. Only 3 slots. And I'm wondering Is that what they bargained for when they went for the 2022 general election? That is the question that people are asking. And experts are asking the Nyanza leaders and supporters to ensure that they put William Ruto to task to explain the fate of the former projects, the projects that he launched, the projects that he promised them, before he heaps more promises and more launching. Because if we are not very careful, we are going to give William Ruto a leeway to launch more projects and to get away with it. I have always complained that we are co-authors of our own misfortunes and predicaments, because we are the people who give the president, who give our political leaders a platform and a chance to even deceive us. So that is one of the things that people are really talking about. Are they going to confront William Ruto, or are they going to be hoodwinked by the docket so that we forget about the projects that were launched and we now heap more praises? We allow him to launch more projects without any implementation. Number two, I have a feeling that if we let William Ruto get away with this, then we are encouraging election rigging. What it means is that moving forward, a president will rig an election, or one will simply go there in agreement with the IEBC and the Supreme Court. They do their mess, and then they form a broad-based government. Blatantly like that. Because we have demonstrated that today we are unhappy because our elections have been rigged. Then after we are given one or two slots, then we embrace the very person we used to accuse of, rigging our elections. That is exactly what happened. Ruto was never wanted in Kisumu, in the 4 counties of Nyanza, because Raila had said his votes were rigged. We have not resolved that. We don't know what happened. We were supposed to open some server there. There was a NADCO report that talked about what happened in 2022. Now, without looking holistically at what happened, they have joined hands and they are now working together. And with this, we are not helping our country. Tomorrow, any person who gets a chance will rig. And then when things get tough, then they form what they call a broad-based government. And with this, I don't think we're helping our country. We are not moving forward by this. I know someone can say that, we are uniting our country, but this is not the kind of unity that we want. Because the unity that we need must come from a clean election. If the election process is not clean, then even what we may call unity is a unity of pretense. We are still sitting on a time bomb and it will soon explode. And one more thing that people are looking at as William Ruto goes to Nyanza and as he gets this warm reception with the leaders embracing him as if they have forgotten everything that happened. And I know that people have died, and the Luo will be very happy that the police used to butcher them on the street, but now they're in government. But that is not I don't think this to me is an orthodox means, and it's giving the future presidents an opportunity to rig. Now, is there any need of going to the streets through demonstrations? Is there any need? Because this is exactly what has always happened. And I don't know whether someone is going to argue that it is the demonstrations that gave birth to all this reception, all these dockets. It's not. If it's the demonstration, then it's the demonstration from the Gen Z. But there is no need for people to go for demonstrations in the future, pretending to be looking for election justice, pretending to be looking for a solution to the high cost of living, and then we end up with such shambolic broad-based government. Because if you ask me, a broad-based government cannot contain just a few people from the ODM. And I know from where they sit, they're very happy. But is it trying to solidify our democracy? It's not. Is it expanding the democratic space? It's not. Yes, I know some kind of arrangement was good to bring healing, but just taking one party and now you're being embraced. I have a feeling that there is no need of pretending to be going to the streets, because those the demonstrations are not helping. They don't give people, we don't achieve what we want. As we speak now, Raila, Mudavadi, Wetangula, and Joho, they are working together. And it seems that in 2027, it is going to be the former Pentagon versus maybe Kalonzo, because Kalonzo seems to be forging for an alliance between himself and Rigathi Gachagua. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has really exposed the dark side of politics. And we should never even go to the streets. We should not even fight among ourselves because of our leaders. Because politics is such a dynamic, exercise that enemies of today will be dining together tomorrow. And those who are dining today together on the same table, tomorrow will be enemies. And we really need to be very careful and love ourselves as the common man, because politicians are ever thinking of themselves. I don't know what you think about William Ruto's Nyanza tour and that reception that he received, but to me, it has really exposed our politicians.